to the podcast from Temperance Town, the sexiest podcast of world renowned. Tony grows a beard to hide his chin, swabs it with Earl so it glistens.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
Download the pod, you won't get enough of these dapper chaps talking deadly fluff. In Hobo Gulch they run a homeless mission, clanging and banging with the pentagram of kittens.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
They enjoy their whiskey and local craft beer. By Odin's unkempt pubis we give a cheer. Tony's a raccoon when he's booziest. Don't be a savage, be an enthusiast.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
On the frozen tundra they call it a lock. Tony likes to masturbate in a sock. Brian pisses rocks cause it feels so great. I still don't know who the fuck is Tate.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
The boys will let you know when there's a spurner. Due to male pattern baldness, they don't wear curlers. Stay salty, people, that's their closing line. And don't forget, have a beer, you'll be fine.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty language.
Hey enthusiasts, what's going on? This is Salty Language, episode 214.
The sexiest / techiest blow-upperest podcast on the network. I don't know if that's English, Brian.
I'm going to go ahead and say the second part of that is not true because Rambo has Tech Disaster Studios.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, I don't want to step on his toes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
first guest than this.
But yeah, we are certainly operating differently tonight. So,
I am in the sub cellar in the bomb shelter that is Shameless Plug Studios West.
Right, because we plan ahead, you know.
Oh yes, exactly. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. My laptop died on me today. Yesterday, my Xbox died.
Ah, that's
apparently
awesome.
I'm cursed. Well, I think the Xbox is the power supply.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And the laptop, I think it's just because it's a hot, steaming pile of shit.
That's probably true, yeah.
Yeah.
Could be a power supply on that, too. Probably not.
Well, the battery is garbage, but it should still turn on when it's plugged in.
Yeah, exactly. So, unfortunately, for those of you tuning in just for the sound effects, you're bumming tonight. Cause
I don't know, no DJ horns, guys, I'm sorry.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I could always put them in host. Yeah, I can put them in post.
That would be hilarious.
I'm not putting them in host. Neither of us are inserting horns that I'm aware of. I mean, I'm not planning it.
No, I'm certainly not planning it either.
I was going to say, I don't know what you do in your free time. But
I have enough awful things happen down there. Especially my diet lately, so we'll get into that.
Fucking A. It reminds me, I was watching that Jim Norton special last night when he's talking about and folks, it's going to get a little graphic here. When he's with the woman that had the strap on, like a quarter of an inch in him, and he started having some tummy issues, and he's like, what I want right now is for her to take off the strap on, leave it in, and leave.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great special.
Oh, so good.
Jim Norton's contextually adequate.
There you go.
Contextually, God, I can't talk.
Yeah.
Adequate on Netflix. You should watch it because Little Jimmy's hilarious.
Right. Yeah. There's, 2 or 3 of his specials on there.
But yeah.
That one's the newest one. And it's pretty short, too. I think it's less than an hour. I think it's like 47 minutes or something like that.
I think so.
So I've noticed that with a lot of the stand-ups that they've been around there, and I was like, well, they must be planning at 47 minutes for commercial breaks, basically. You know,
probably.
But it kind of stinks when when you get them without the commercial breaks. It's like, I'm surprised they don't put some more footage back in there, but then again, I remember they want to sell DVDs or whatever at times. So
Yeah, a lot of times the DVDs are the unedited, like hour they put up and all that jazz.
Well, yeah, you remember it was a couple years ago. The DVD industry was like, "Yeah, we're not giving Netflix any bonus features from now on." So I was like,
"Right,
okay." I don't watch most of them anyway.
Like, oh fuck you! You can't watch all these cut scenes that nobody cares about, bro.
Yeah.
Like, oh, but I can just sit in front of my TV and stream it.
Yeah.
I'm still in.
I was gonna say, you guys know YouTube exists, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They're generally right there, but
I don't have to get up and change discs. Cool.
Right? I can stream it on pretty much anything I pick up.
Yes, if I'm using my Xbox, I can just talk.
Well, you can't, but
well, no, I can, but it'll just look at me.
Yeah. Like, that's what you should do, is just send a thing to Xbox and be like, I keep talking to my Xbox, but it won't listen to me. My Xbox is a terrible listener. Now I'm sad.
Do pictures of, like, the Xbox in front of sink with an apron on if it's back to me.
Right.
Me pantomiming like I'm talking to it.
Of course.
Yes.
It's way more work than it's worth, but yeah.
The Xbox and I in bed, back to back, not looking at each other.
Well, of course. I mean, you guys have been together a long time. I mean, it's,
we have.
How can I put the spark back between me and my Xbox? And then backwards compatibility comes out. Oh yeah. Wait.
You know the internet addicted guy meme where it's like the guy in a computer and the wife's peeking in the background?
Yeah.
Okay. It'd be that, but it's me and the Xbox is peeking in.
Right.
And I'm like Googling like PS4.
Right. Like, ooh.
Like, oh my God, he's into that. It's like Amazon's like the Ashley Madison of that relationship.
Right. Oh, that's fantastic. You know, it's funny. Yesterday on, I think it was on NBC News, they had a thing. They had this woman on there who she said that she was just one of many women that were hired to be like the face of Ashley Madison back in the day, and that most of the female accounts on there were fake.
I read that like it was less than 10%, I think, of them were like actual people.
Right. Which is, you know, that's all you need to do if you ever want to see how dumb guys are. There's your proof. I mean, that's it.
Yeah, no, you got that right.
Guys on the internet being guys on the internet. That's exactly what that site proved. Was
you
know, it's like, listen, you know, hey, it's been a while since, you know, whatever, but it's like, still, why? I don't know. Like, why, if you're going to cheat on your spouse, why would you leave a paper trail of any kind if you can avoid it? Dummies.
It's true.
But whatever. I do appreciate some of the things, like how many, like, what's it, like .gov, .edus and stuff. How many people are using those emails when they're signing up for it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, you know, not even creating their own, like, Google account or something just for that. Nah, I'm just going to use my work account or my school
sort
email.
Of anonymous email.
Yeah, nah.
Like John Doe at Yahoo.
Nice. Nobody will ever guess, right? Xbox lover. Or former Xbox lover.
Silly people. It's the internet. It's clearly safe.
Right, yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, sure it is, buddy.
You silly kids these days. So, for those that don't know, because I never said it at the top of the show, because I actually think I haven't said it in a while, I'm Brian, and the other guy is Tony. So
hey now.
I actually don't think we introduce ourselves anymore.
We usually don't.
Yeah.
We probably should.
We probably should. Could be someone's first show. They're like, I don't know who these guys are, you know. And
exactly. They're just like, all I know is I'm wet. There's voices.
Naturally, yeah. That'll happen.
Guy or girl, just fluids everywhere.
Total sploosh.
Just, oh my God.
What's the male equivalent of sploosh? I guess it's just sploosh. Archer for everybody. Yeah, so it was an interesting week for me. I got to Tuesday. I was on the Beyond the 140 show, which was my first live podcasting, which was I was nervous as hell ahead of time, but
Right.
it couldn't have been any better. Like, everything went great. I think I heard that there were some sound issues through it, but the playback has everything. So
It's like it sounded fine to me when I listened to it.
Unfortunately, when you're listening live, I guess it cut out in places, which is why there's actually, during the show, someone actually was like, I can't hear anything, so people were like doing closed captioning in the chat room for what was being said. It was really funny because most of it was accurate, but there were occasionally there was some deviancy from, which is what I expect. That's how it should be.
A chat room full of deviants.
Oh, it certainly was. It certainly was, including our pal Doug Lingerie, who was having a time in there, I'm sure.
Indeed.
They
can
told
only
me
assume he was wearing a banana hammock and nothing else.
Well, he was on camera afterwards. It didn't look like it. He might have had a T-shirt on and a banana hammock because he didn't stand up. So I can't. Yeah, but yeah, that was interesting because the whole live aspect of it and whatnot. And I just, from listening to the show enough times, I knew right when I was supposed to mute and unmute my mic and all that kind of stuff. So that all went really well. And there's been quite a few times on that show where somebody forgets to unmute on the way back. The only thing was the one time I didn't think my mic got unmuted because I didn't hear myself when I started talking. So I'm like, hey guys, like I'm real low on it.
Test.
Yeah. But yeah, but that was fun.
It was a fine show.
Yeah, everybody should go have a listen if you'd like to. Hashtag more Brian and all, and
hashtag more Brian.
So we'll. We've tweeted the link out a few times, but if you just search out Beyond the 140. Did you just download it like normal podcasts? Because I always listen live, so I don't download it.
Yeah, I went through my Downcast app and just put in Beyond the and then 140 numbers.
Yep.
And then boom, there it was.
Yep. Or if not, you can always hit us up. I'll hook you up with the link, or if you want to follow them on the Twitters, they're at Beyond the 140, I think.
Indeed.
That seems right.
I believe so, yeah.
So, yeah, and hopefully we can get them guys over here for an enthusiast at some point.
Oh, indeed.
That'll be a good time.
Good times.
Good times, yeah. So, that was, I'm doing, looks like I'm going to be doing 5 podcasts this week. Because Monday, you and I recorded The Enthusiast, which will be going up. Well, by the time people get this, they should have already got and listened to the Ryan Brown interview, right?
Yeah, and I hope you didn't check the website. Well, maybe, because by the time this comes out, hopefully my laptop's fine.
Right, well.
Since it's not updated with the Ryan Brown stuff, which blows.
Yeah, I didn't. I never even thought about that part of things. But
that's what I was going to do before I started recording.
I guess you'll have to go to the library and
something.
Work on the damn site from the library. Hilarious.
Go punch my son in the face and steal his Chromebook.
Yeah, that'll work. I don't.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, you probably don't have to punch him in the face, but I'm not going to tell you how to parent.
Well, it's like the Inspector Clouseau kind of thing. I got to keep him on his toes.
That's fair. Yeah. So we did that Monday. Tuesday I did Beyond the 140. We're recording on a Thursday.
Yep.
Tomorrow night I'm recording Crazy Life, and then Sunday night I'm recording Moving the Needle. So,
man, the rising star of the podcast world, Brian.
This is hashtag more Brian week, apparently.
Yeah, no shit.
As there's another Brian that I follow on Instagram, and last month was his birthday month. So the whole time he was like, "This is the month of Brian." And then on the 1st of September, he's like, "Oh man, the month of Brian's over." And I'm like, "Slow down," because we're both
easy.
Brian with a Y. I was like, "The month of Brian continues." So yeah.
Well, then let it rain.
Well, it's been raining. Oh, you know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You don't mean that kind of rain though.
No, I've seen enough of that. I got annihilated yesterday.
You mean like purple rain? I get you.
Oh hell yeah! Oh my god.
Chocolate rain.
Do you got a quick purple rain story? Time for a quick purple rain story?
We always have time for a purple rain story.
Just briefly. A guy I work with, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's got a, like, it looks like the purple rain bike kind of.
Awesome.
It's pretty similar. And
please tell me he dresses up like Prince when he comes into work.
I will. Well, every time I see it parked outside, I always go, Purple Rain. That's all. I can't help it.
Well, that's tradition
Well,
now. Yeah.
well, him and his son both work with me, right?
Okay.
So the other day, it was actually Friday. I just happened to look out the window as they were going home, and his son was riding bitch on the bike, and it looked hilarious.
Now, I have to ask, like, are they larger men or just average size guys? Or
No, they're you know.
I'm disappointed.
I mean,
I wish they were.
Dad is shorter than I am.
Oh.
Son is even shorter than that.
Oh, okay. I just wish they were both like large gentlemen, like 6'4", 250, 300 pounds, something like that. And
that would have been great,
right? just for the laughs. That's all.
But just those two riding off in the sunset. That's all I could picture. It's like all I needed was a Thelma and Louise moment.
Right.
Would have been perfect.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah,
love it.
Sorry, Purple Rain just sparked that memory.
No, that's what we do. I mean, things that people aren't privy to with us. Like this morning, from 7:30 till 8 a.m., Tony and I worked out an erotic murder mystery story and the marketing for it.
Boy, did we! All centered around giant black titties, really.
Yep. Oh, I guess I should tell that story, shouldn't I?
Might as well.
Yeah. I posted on Twitter, and if you follow me on the Instagrams, you can actually see kind of. Well, I blurred out her for the most part. I tried anyway. But there was a picture I saw on Tinder last night that it's a woman like right behind a gravestone, obviously at a cemetery, and right behind her, like a little bit back, not directly behind her, but pretty close.
Kind of in photobomb position.
Yeah, looks like either right before or right after the closing ceremonies of someone's Death Olympics. Like I
Nice.
can't. At first, I thought there was a casket behind her, but when I looked at the picture again, I don't think there's a casket in that picture. But those things they put in there to lower the casket,
Yeah.
right behind, it's still underneath there. Underneath and the tent was still up, like they put. I don't know if they do that everywhere, but I know around here they do.
Right.
So the family is protected from elements while they're grieving.
Like carbon and lithium and stuff like that.
Absolutely, yeah. What'd you think? I mean, sunshine and
rain.
Rain.
Pshaw.
Purple rain. But yeah.
Prince.
Now this was the first picture, and I know Tinder pulls your pictures from your Facebook profile. Okay, but you can still choose which one is the first one, and you can choose to not have pictures from your, certain ones not be used by your Facebook. I don't understand why that one would be one you would go, that'll make a good one, other than
Them titties.
Because she has heaving bosoms, if you will.
Like I told you earlier.
Or, hold on, and I think this may be the title of the show, Grieving Bosoms.
Oh. That's pretty strong.
All right, sorry, go ahead.
Like I told you this morning, it looked like a couple midgets were wrestling in her shirt.
It does, yeah.
I mean, Jesus.
Now, you got the unedited photo. So,
yes, which I highly appreciate.
Right, which, that went out to 3 people. Everybody else is going to have to look at my Instagram to see the edited photo.
Or come to where we live and start scrolling through Tinder.
Or that, yeah. I mean, hey,
like I said, know.
I'm not knocking her necessarily, but I was just kind of like, why would you think this is a good picture for Tinder or any sort of a dating site?
Yes.
Because it's like, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Now, I did get some good responses on Instagram. Like, some people were like, that's just showing you she's single.
Strong. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I can't remember. There were a couple of them that were pretty strong. So I got a good laugh out of that at least. But I was like,
it is odd.
Yeah. I see it all. Well, I send you pictures, off and on of
yes,
some of the random stuff that I see because...
Yeah, some of them are like, whoa, he captured a picture of Sasquatch.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, I know it sounds really mean, but I saw a picture a couple of nights ago on, I think it was on Plenty of Fish, and this woman's head, it almost looked like she did, how there's some of those apps where they mush your face down?
Yes.
It looked like that, but I didn't see any evidence that the picture had been altered. Like normally you can see kind of a border because of that, like where it pulls from, basically.
Yeah, where it yanks it all in.
There's nothing like that. I actually think she's just got a giant head and a really tiny face on a giant head.
Maybe she had a normal head and she got stung by a bunch of bees.
Killer bees? Wu-Tang Clan coming at you?
Oh, yeah, they stung her, all right. She loved it. Down for that BBC,
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yikes. 36 chambers. Wait.
Oh, boy. Probably just 2 or 3.
So yeah, I enjoy. I've for the longest time I've wanted to, and I keep off and on thinking about doing it, about starting like a Tumblr or something like that of just the random shit like that because. But I don't want to actually show someone's face. You'd want to blur that. But in this one, you would have to.
Yes.
But it's like I don't want to be mean about it. It's more that I'm just like, why would you pick this as your dating picture? Like. You need some friends to go, that's not a good picture of you. Like,
yeah, right.
It's it reminds me of the people who absolutely can't sing and their family's always like, oh, you got a beautiful voice. And they start singing and people's ears just bleed immediately.
Yeah.
And
neighbor dogs are darting in front of cars.
Yes. So, yeah. So there's Brian's Mean Corner or whatever. I don't know. I can't sing, so.
Well, I have something along that same line for the mean corner.
Excellent.
Since we're in the mean wheelhouse.
Nice.
Why not?
Nice.
So at work the other day, and I'm going to start off with, I came out. I was in a government building, which you always see the most interesting people in the government building.
Very true. Government buildings are fancier Walmarts.
Yes. Right. And so I exit the elevator, right? And I gotta state it like this for the full effect.
Okay.
The second person I saw, right?
Yeah.
Was like a smoke show of a white trash girl. She was hot.
Okay. When you said smoke show, I was like, are you meaning like she was a ghost of a former hot girl? Okay. Just double checking.
But in hindsight, I think she was only ridiculously hot because of the first person I saw.
I get you. By proximity. Okay. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
Right.
Because, I was thinking back on it, because she was, a little, tiny blonde, if you're a fan of the r/busty petites on Reddit, you know what I'm talking about.
Who isn't?
Right.
Tony and I are mods. No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, just little blonde giant boobs that were hanging out. But then in hindsight, I realized, she had awful tattoos and she was really dirty.
Yeah.
Right. But the first person I saw it basically looked like a pile of mashed potatoes wearing a T-shirt. Right?
Right.
And unfortunately, this woman, a.k.a. the mashed potatoes.
Right, damn it.
As I exit the elevator, one, she wasn't wearing a bra because you could see her nipples through her shirt. Which was horrifying. And two, she had her shirt pulled up because she was scratching her enormous gut.
Wow.
And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I saw this angel, At least that's what I thought was an angel.
Proximity angel, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for all I know, she probably had meth mouth and who knows whatever else going on.
Fine, Teach just get in the way anyway. It's cool.
Really? My cat just decided to join me.
Right.
Yeah.
Sweet, we have a third mic.
So, yeah, thanks, bitch. I appreciate this. It's great.
Yeah, for those of you who can't tell, this cat's just like, oh, hey, here's a lap.
Yeah, I'll just hang out here.
Right.
Well, it's my evil cat now.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, but it brought up a whole thing where I'm like...
There, I'll post the picture later.
Okay. Perfect. But it made me think of, white trash hot girls, and I guess there's something about that. Do we have discussion here?
Well,
an open topic for
yes,
white trash hot
I think
girls?
we might. Now, there's different levels of this because, essentially I can't think of the character now. Shit. It's Jamie Presley on My Name is Earl.
Oh.
Yeah,
I don't remember the character anymore either.
Right. She's, ultra violent and everything, but you're just like, yeah, of course I
I'd still tag that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're like, good show, Crab Man, good show,
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
And then there's, the other side of that, to where you see him, and like you said, you're like, hey, and then it's like, excuse me, you're like, wow, there's no teeth. Those are the worst tattoos I've ever seen. But in the dark, all that goes away.
That's true.
So
except them STDs.
Well, I mean, not a lot you can do about that. I mean, if you're going after trailer park women, you're kind of rolling the dice on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. This is a good point.
I mean, I've definitely seen plenty of white trash hot girls that upon closer investigation, you're like, yeah, probably not.
Yeah. There's it's the, what was it, the old, was it the Monet or whatever, you know? Like up close, they're like, but from a distance, they look gorgeous kind of a thing.
Yeah,
up close,
exactly.
they're like, yeah. I understand.
Or like what happened to me, proximity of other people of the white trash tribe.
There's a lot of truth to that, because I mean, looking at dating profile pictures, you'll see that. Like, you'll see there's like a group of 4, and you're like, wow, she's really, really pretty. And then like the next picture, it's just her from a similar angle, and you're like, she doesn't look as hot now. Like,
like what happened?
Yeah, and you're like, it's that proximity thing.
Yeah.
You know, that's why
cheerleader effect.
Yeah, it's why I only hang out with ugly people. So.
Oh. Wah, wah.
I kid. Yeah, it's. I don't know. It's a good one. Like
that was a shocker when I saw that enormous stomach and awful nipple, and man, I just don't know. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with people.
I just love that she went for the full like pull the shirt up to scratch the belly. Like not doing it over the shirt. But, yeah. See, isn't
get that
it amazing?
Dirty fabric out of the way.
Like, we just did an episode of The Crazy Life on body issues. And
right.
I made a comment about how, like, I don't even wear, like, a V-neck T-shirt because it's like, ain't nobody want to see all my chest hairs hanging out or whatever,
As I'm rocking a V-neck.
I know. That's why I'm kind of like, yeah, but your beard almost,
That's true.
But, realistically, if I started wearing V-neck T-shirts, no one would care. Nobody would care because I'm really
probably
not.
Like sweet V-neck, bro.
Right, it's not like I'm not wearing like deep plunging V-necks,
Oh well, then I'm not interested.
Like you're wearing right now, yeah.
Well, yeah.
You don't even have to pull your shirt up to scratch.
I want to look like a 50s space villain.
Right. You're over there, and you're like, this T-shirt almost makes me look like Vampirella. Yeah, anyone familiar with Vampirella probably just threw up in their mouth thinking of you as Vampirella.
Probably.
No offense, of course. I mean, it's just,
Although I could pull off that sick wig.
Oh my God. I don't want to see this, but I kind of want you to go as Vampirella for Halloween now.
Oh, jeez. How about we just convince someone to Photoshop my head on the Vampirella's body?
That's probably less traumatic.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's probably oddly arousing to some people.
By some people, you mean you.
Well, yeah.
Like,
duh.
Damn,
finally, my dreams come true.
Yeah. Like, I am fine.
Oh, nice.
Maybe Photoshop some mashed potato girls next to you,
The old mashed potato girls.
That's your background dancers.
Yes. I'm
Vampire fella and the mashed potatoes girl.
That's what I was about ready to say. Vampire fella. It's my R&B group.
I do not want to see those music videos.
Yeah, you do. They're all going to be Boys the Men covers.
Oh, you're right. All right, I'm back in. Nice.
Yep, see, I told you.
Nice. Mashed potato girls. Going to have the shirts blowing in the wind and stuff.
We should do that for Halloween some year. Just go as Boys the Men with the billowy white shirts.
You're totally right. Well, and there's only 3 of them now, so,
Perfect.
Yeah, because there's not a 4th one. There was, right? I'm not crazy. There were 4, right?
I'm pretty sure.
There's only 3 now, because I've seen him perform on various TV shows off and on, and I'm like...
Is one in, take the old dirt nap?
No, I think he just left, and they just didn't replace him. They must have been like, psh, we can handle this. 3 guys can do a 4-part harmony.
It's true.
Yeah. I do it all the time. Wait.
He's like, guys, I'm men now. I'm out of here.
They're like, oh, what are we going to call our group now? We're just boys too, because men left.
Wowzer.
Where the hell were we going with all this?
I was talking about white trash hot people, and it all spiked off of Brian's mean corner.
Right.
Our new segment.
Yeah. I'm not lying. I've said it before. And I was talking about body issues. I was kind of going somewhere here at one point.
Right.
The body issues thing, we did a whole episode on that, and I'm like, I try to cover up things I see as imperfections so that people, like I'm not walking around scratching my belly like that. Like even at home, I don't do that. I just scratch my belly right over my shirt, and it's amazing to me how people can look and have that kind of body, and they're just totally cool with it. Like
I hear you. No shame.
It blows my mind, And then you hear people that are in really good shape having body issues, but you see people in horrible shape, and they're just like I know I'm fine, and you're like,
dude, I see people like got under riding mowers.
Yeah.
And it'll be dudes in little jean shorts, like Lieutenant Dangle shorts.
Hot, yeah.
Like
your buddy that had the slow raising garage door.
Yeah. Oh God, that freak. Yeah, exactly like that. But it'll be, they'll be on a riding mower, just no shirt, little shorts on.
Yeah.
It looks like they sat on a raccoon with the amount of ass hair coming out of the top of the waistband.
Right. Looks like they probably were coaching some sort of a sport earlier in the day.
Yeah, and it's like I can't wrap my head around that.
Yeah. Oh, that gave me. Well, nobody will get it. Never mind. Damn it. I was going to say, I just got an idea for a Halloween costume. Yeah, it involves shorty shorts, too.
Nice.
Not that kind of shorty shorts.
Are you going to be Vampire Fella's manager?
Yeah, obviously. No, probably not.
No?
I don't think
fine.
Vampire Fella doesn't need a manager. Like, everyone's just throwing all the monies. It's,
yeah, it's true. Because Vampire Fella.
Right. What the hell is going on?
Oh, my wife's home.
Is she setting a tea service?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't believe you can hear that through my little iPhone mic in my headset.
Yeah, I certainly.
That is fascinating.
I know, right? That's what I was telling you. It's amazing what these things can pick up.
I know. I should just throw my soundboard away, my mic and all that. Nah, probably not.
I'm enjoying this close-up bath of your cat.
Yeah, exactly. It's great because he occasionally tries to brace himself on me. He's just like, I'm just going to stick my claws in your gut.
Yeah, well, that's...
Like, thanks, you little bitch.
That seems fair.
Well, it's how we, it's how we talk to each other. Because it'll be like 4:30 in the morning, which for some reason I've been waking up every day lately around then.
Nice.
And if I make like the slightest noise, it's meow 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 meow. It turns into meow meow meow. Morning, bitch. Meow meow meow.
Right.
Morning, bitch.
Well, at least it's not like your Xbox and not responsive.
That's true.
Yeah.
This would be a perfect time for Hulk music. Damn it.
Oh. Yeah. Do you got anything else for the week, or like things that have happened, whatever, other than just normal stuff?
Well, yeah, I got all kinds of not all kinds, but I got some nonsense. Okay. Have you been watching Fear the Walking Dead?
Yes.
Okay, I friend of mine. Whoa, that's my daughter in a panda suit. That was weird.
That'll happen. Yeah.
A friend of mine online, she's like, you should watch Fear the Walking Dead. So I'm like, all right, and then the pilot happened to be on this week in front of episode 2.
Okay.
Which was, so I got to watch them both. What do you think of the show?
I think it's really slow.
Yeah?
That's kind of been my thing. I really liked in the first episode how the dude that's the spoilers for anyone who hasn't watched. Let's cover that first. I really liked how the guy who was the druggie, how it almost seemed like the stuff was like him hallucinating. Like, nobody else was seeing it. Nobody believed him, that kind of stuff. And I was kind of hoping that might carry on for a few episodes to where everyone's kind of like, dude, you're crazy. Like, this is not happening. But they kind of got into the meat a little quicker than I thought they were going to.
Yeah, they did.
But the rest of the show feels... And I know the way Robert Kirkman likes to do things, he likes to do the slow burn.
Yeah, it's like the slow boil.
Yeah, he likes to slowly build you into the story. So, and I know right now we're probably getting a ton of foreshadowing for later in the season. Like,
yes.
They're showing us locations that'll probably be important later, and, they do a lot of that, I'm sure. But I don't care about most of the characters at this point, except the drug dude.
You like the drug dude?
Well, it's not that I necessarily like him, but he's gotten a lot of screen time to where you kind of almost they kind of want you to feel sympathetic for him.
Right.
You know, the way it's been set up.
Yeah.
So, so I don't know. What do you think?
I'm with you. It's definitely started off slow, but I think I'm enjoying it so far. You know, it's got me invested enough that I'm looking forward to the next episode.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm the same way. I'm definitely going to keep watching. I usually would anyway, because I generally give a TV show, you know, a few episodes, because, you know, it's tough with 1 or 2 episodes to immediately go meh, or one way or the other. You know. So,
right. Exactly.
I
think the hardest part I had was watching it live and dealing with the commercials, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I watched it on AMC's website later, so I had to deal with commercials, but not as many.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they do like 1 every 20 minutes or something like that, you know, or 2 every 20 minutes, whatever.
Yeah, it was brutal. But yeah, I don't know, I like the show, so I'll keep watching it.
Yeah. So, yeah, same here. Yeah, it was funny when I was on the Jedi Council with Clint and the gang. He was talking about it, and I was like, I haven't watched it yet.
Like, I'm so far behind. I'm good.
Yeah, 1 episode, I was so far behind. I was, though, because I had no idea what he was talking about.
Plus, the pilot was like an hour and a half. You were so far behind.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
You know?
What did you think of the of them? Do you realize that the druggy girl is Patient Zero, right?
No, I did not.
Yeah, they've pretty much identified her as Patient Zero, but they also, the showrunner said he pitched to Kirkman, like, hey, let's do a story about her and how this happens, and Kirkman was like, that's not really what this is about. That's not what we do.
Right.
And I was like, at first I was like, oh man, and then I was like, you know, I kind of agree with that. Like, the only way I want to see how it all started, essentially, is maybe once the whole thing is done. Maybe do a couple episodes or something to where they could then, if they wanted to, maybe then tell you. But I think it's just I don't know. I kind of like just leaving it out there.
Well, why don't they go to Bitch Planet model and have a couple episodes and then one that flashes back for a character that you don't really care about and kind of ruins the flow.
The thing is, TV can do that really well.
Yes, TV can.
Because you really can. You could put the camera on someone else. Like The Walking Dead, just, you know, the regular The Walking Dead, it's all about Rick. Like, that's the whole point of the show, is everything through Rick's eyes, basically. And they could easily, though, put it on another character's perspective.
Well, a show that did that good was Lost.
Okay. I haven't. Yeah, I probably didn't watch far enough in to get to much of that, but yeah. They
would, focus on these characters for a show, and it'd kind of go to, back on their life, not on the stupid island,
Oh, right, yeah. Well, even Game of Thrones kind of does it, because this week it's these characters, this week it's these characters, and they move around. Scrubs did it a little bit, because it was mostly through JD's eyes, but then as the show went on later, they did, I know there was an episode where it was through Sarah Chalk. I can't remember her character on the show now.
Blondie.
They did it through her eyes. And then there's one through Turk, and that kind of, or there's one episode where it kind of jumps around, so you get a little different perspective. So you could do that with a TV show pretty easily, actually. Whereas comic books, it's a little more of a dice roll, because it's, what if you don't care about the character?
Right.
Like Bitch Planet comes. I just read Kelly Sue DeConnick said that they finally just sent issue 5 to the printer. And I don't know when it's actually going to street. And I'm like, I don't know that I care at this point.
Like, I lost all my carrying muscles.
I kind of did. I'd almost have to go back and reread the stuff now because I don't remember.
Right.
So, yeah. But yeah, I dig the show, though. I know a lot of people have really liked it. So, and I don't...
A lot of people are, almost cult-like status of Walking Dead.
Right, exactly. And I enjoy Walking Dead, but I'm, it's got its ups and downs for me at this point. Because, it's any show. After X years, it's hard to keep capturing the magic that brought you to a show,
Right.
So, but, yeah. All right, what else you got?
Well, I got a great business thing for us, Brian. We need to invest.
Okay.
Right?
This isn't my business model from earlier, right?
No. This is a completely separate business.
All right. I don't even want to say it on the show because it was so good.
But it still involves the field of the sexy.
Okay.
Right.
Obviously.
Yeah. So I read this thing online, right? that read the thing online and also heard another angle for it on a podcast I was listening to. And one of the questions was like, hey, what's the best way for me to naturally boost my testosterone? Right?
Yeah.
So one of the best ways is that it's just sex.
Yeah.
Have sex.
Right.
No jerking, have sex.
Right.
Right? And then the guy in the podcast I was listening to, the same question came up, and the guy was like, no one wants to hear this answer, but or hear my answer, but it's have sex with people that aren't your normal partner.
Right. I could see that, yeah.
Yeah. So here's my business plan, right?
Okay.
We go to like Amsterdam, Australia, somewhere where prostitution's legal.
Okay, I thought you were going to go an Ashley Madison kind of thing here.
No.
All right.
And we open up a brothel/gym.
The brothel?
Well, I was thinking cunts and curls, but I like the brothel.
It could be both. Like on one entrance it says that, on the other entrance it says the other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, you go boost your testosterone to go do some lifting.
Right.
It's perfect.
Clanging and banging, really.
Get them gains.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant.
I like it.
Should have Oz start scouting locations for us.
I agree. Not in Australia, though. I'm terrified of Australia.
Yeah, too much deadly creatures.
Yeah, we learned about that on, Anti-Semantic Show. That everything in Australia is trying to kill you. So
it's true. Probably even Australians.
It's probably true.
Yeah.
I've seen Oz want to kill things, so.
Indeed. Well, it's because it's Oz.
Right, but he's our, sample of Australia, so,
That's true.
Clearly, it's everyone who shares those properties.
Yeah. He's the baseline as far as we know.
Boy, that'd be a volatile country sometimes.
That would be a volatile country sometimes, wouldn't it?
Just punching koala left and right,
That would be awesome.
I agree. Yeah.
With sledgehammer shoes.
Right. Much like that GIF that still cracks me up from time to time. Man. Yeah, I like this business model.
I think that's
better than mine from earlier, because mine from earlier was for us to just invest in a bunch of Coke and just do a ridiculous amount of Coke.
Well, then the ideas will come. Well, that's how we fund the brothel, through ridiculous amounts of Coke.
Right. There's no flaws in this plan.
There is none.
There are people, like financiers, listening to this show right now going, take all of our money.
Like, I probably shouldn't even said it on the podcast.
Probably not.
It's all good when I do.
I don't even think we can release this show now. Not until after we've got Cunts and Girls going.
Exactly. Edit this out, guys.
Yeah.
I'm talking to our production team.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you like that on the BT-140 when they were like, oh, Brian, you've listened to the show before? I'm like, my agent says that I have.
Yes. Yeah, that was nice.
I forgot, because I was going to do that in my intro thing. I was going to do, my agent says it's great to be here, or something like that, You guys are lucky to have me, or something like that, but, yeah. Good times.
Or you could be like, I'm sorry, yeah, can someone fix this teleprompter?
Right. Line.
That'd be great.
Teleprompter. That would have been great if I just sat there with, some index cards, looking like I wrote everything ahead of time. Hold on, I have a good response to this, and flip through a couple cards.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah. Maybe that's what I'll do on Moving the Needle.
I would if I were you.
Yeah. Just keep telling them how lucky they are to have me.
Make sure the whole time you're on the show you just wear sunglasses.
Oh, damn it. I actually meant to do that on BT-140 because of the video part of it. Because of the chat room. I was going to wear sunglasses the whole time. I totally forgot.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Damn it. And I still have those ones that are tees that are the, big mirrored ones.
That's even better.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you need to wear.
Right. Yeah.
So I got that. I saw yesterday. This excited me. It won't excite you that much.
All right.
But I saw this cocktail I want to try called the Cold Fashioned.
Okay.
Right? To take off the old fashioned. Thanks for clawing me in the testicles, you bitch. Yeah. It's like a take off the old fashioned.
Right.
But first, you need to take a big old thing of bourbon and a big old thing of espresso beans, and you infuse the bourbon with coffee.
I see what they're doing with that then.
Yeah. I'm all over that.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not as excited about that as you are.
I didn't think you would be. But
I was with you when you
delicious.
said a whole bunch of bourbon. I'm like, I'm in. And then you said the coffee, and I was like, oh, sorry.
I'm back out.
I'm back out. Yeah.
Did I talk about the tobacco? Yeah, I did. Never mind.
All right.
Yeah, sorry.
Tobacco?
Well, the tobacco cherry bourbon. Did I talk about that?
You told me about it. I don't remember if it was on the show.
I'm getting a nod from my wife.
Okay.
That yes.
All right.
Okay.
Our fact checker.
Yeah.
Since you and I can't remember shit.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But today also, right? This is something that blew my mind. I'm driving, doing my work thing, and there's a car coming at me in the lane, and it just stops. It's a piece of shit car, right?
Right.
And I could see the woman, and she's got this like weird, like squinty kind of face going on, or she had this crazy hairdo.
Yeah.
And she starts doing a Yui in the middle of the road, and
Nice.
it's not like a smooth Yui, like an Austin Powers 42-point churn Yui,
Right.
you know. And as she's turning, I'm just I'm fascinated. I'm slowly rolling towards her. Do you want to know what the reason she was all squinty and she had a crazy hairdo was?
Because she had to move her car because she was in the middle of getting her hair did.
That would be way
Ah, damn it.
way better.
All right.
Because she had a giant parrot on her shoulder. And it's like, bitch, you are not a pirate.
I would have never guessed that. Although the squinty eye thing is kind of funny with the parrot. You know?
Yeah, no, I assume
She
the
forgot
parrot
her
must
eye
have been
patch.
like molesting her ear or something.
Oh,
I don't know.
I was just thinking she forgot her eye patch for the day.
That could be
You know?
too.
Ah.
Arr. Yeah, just because her what I thought was her crazy hairdo was the parrot body,
Wow.
like in the feathers, and I mean once I know I've said this before,
Wow.
but what the fuck is wrong with people?
You know, I mean, I've seen plenty of people riding around in their cars with a bird on their shoulder of some sort. So, you know, it's wow, though, because yeah, I mean, I guess is it really any worse than having your dog in the car with their head hanging out the window? I mean, it's kind of or sitting in their lap. I've seen people with that.
Oh God, I love dogs, but when I see people drive around with their dog in their lap, nothing makes nothing make me happier than an airbag malfunction.
Right. Like somehow miss the dog.
Yes, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure. Oh, Tony. We were supposed to have left Mean Corner a while ago.
Sorry.
Tony busted a Yui.
I had a rough day, so
It's fair.
I'm in a foul mood, kind of.
That's fine. The show's always better when that happens, when
Well,
one or
it's
both
like-
of us are.
My work's selling this big piece of machinery, right? And no one has the common sense to tell the guys that are in to like disassemble it and take it out
Yeah.
that, hey, we're still running a business, and they just do whatever they want and just block doors, and it's
Awesome.
yeah. It makes you feel a little stabby.
That's fine. You just, just go up and just start punching them right in the junk, and
Well, they were definitely giving my partner and I the stink eye because we're both could get him more than me, could get very vocal and loud, but once I get going,
yeah,
it's kind of like the raccoon with no beer involved,
right, yeah. It's just
and no comedy.
a really angry raccoon at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
The other's fun and lovable and destructive. This one's
It's the raccoon you corner. It's like
yeah. It's like when the raccoon gets rabies.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just picturing you as someone walking up to you and
Like, oh God.
foaming at the mouth, like, oh, jeez. Like, what is wrong with that guy? Awesome.
Yeah. So it's been a week.
Yeah.
I don't really have much newsy type stuff,
Yeah, that's fair.
but it's definitely been a week.
Yeah.
If you want an update, Michigan's losing right now.
Well, they're the underdog in the game, so...
Yeah, you know.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Eh.
Oh, speaking of football, we should plug our Pick'em League.
You're right. Yeah, if you'd like to be part of the Salty Language Pick'em League, where we're picking against the spread, if you need to know what that is, you can Google picking against the spread, and that'll tell you. But... anywho, if you'd like to be part of it, you need to hit us up on the Twitters or email us or contact us somehow, and I can send you an invitation to it. If not, then that's fine. You can, Tony and I will just keep a nice, tidy look at our picks, that way. So we won't have
True.
I won't have to write things down each week. I can just have them in front of me. So easier
and stuff.
Yeah. But yeah,
I mean, we usually do football picks anyway. Let's make it official this year.
I'd like to get a few people and then try to come up with some, zany prize like your cat or something like that to the winner.
I'm willing.
I was getting side-eye for a little bit there. Like, your cat was turned and was, like, shooting me, like, some real side-eye while I was talking. I didn't like it. But, yeah. Well, I guess while we're kind of on football.
Yes.
It broke today that the New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady's 4-game suspension for being involved, allegedly, in Deflategate is completely thrown out by a judge, which everybody was kind of expecting because it got to the point that neither side was really willing. Like, Brady was not willing to admit any wrongdoing,
right?
And he was willing to serve 0 suspension, whereas the league was like, well, we'll cut it down, but you have to kind of admit culpability or that you're wrong. And
he's like, no.
He's like, no. And, yeah, so it went to a judge, and the judge pretty much ruled the way I think most people thought, which was there's no actual proof, so, you can't really do that. And he'll be able to play week 1, which is fantastic news for the Patriots.
Well, I'm assuming what happened was, you know how when, like you're a kid, you make, like, the Mother's Day coupons, it's like one free hug and whatever else.
Right.
I'm assuming that the Brady slyly slid the judge like a Night with Giselle coupon.
The judge doesn't realize on the back it says, no sexy stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just helping her fold laundry.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this sucks.
Go grocery shopping, whatever.
Right.
Like, oh, man.
Like, oh, geez, I should have read the fine print.
Yeah. Like, it's still worth it. No. He's just, judge is trying to snap selfies with her.
Yeah. Look who I'm picking out cabbage with. What?
Yeah.
This will be sweet on my Instagram.
Looks like she really knows her heads, right?
Hey.
So, yeah, that's kind of breaking news. It won't be by the time people read this, or listen to this. I mean, read this. Like they're getting the transcript of Salty Language at the end of the show.
Be.
Yeah. If you'd like a typewritten transcript, please send $12 to the following address. Ugh. Yeah. So, I kind of figured it was going to go that way, though.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way, too.
Yeah. Like I was telling you before we recorded, I think the NFL is lucky that, like with some of their other arbitrary suspensions, that there was proof that those guys did those things, whether it's an arrest or admittance or some sort of proof, whereas with this one, there's not. So, because otherwise I really think there would have been, other players contacting their attorneys about the suspensions and the money probably more so the money that they lost.
Now, do you think this is like the NFL just kind of overreacting a tad with the underreaction they had of Ray Rice falcon punching his wife?
Right. That's my thing is a lot of people want to compare, have compared the suspensions, because like Ray Rice was 4 games and Brady was 4 games, and it's like,
yeah.
I think you gotta not do that. I think you just go case by case in the NFL. I don't think they tend to compare this to that. I think they just go, what's a fair punishment for this crime, and or rule a breaking, I don't know, whatever.
Right.
Meanwhile, Tom Brady's just, cranking beer drinkers and hellraisers and,
Well, yeah. Of course he is.
He's snapping off brewskis like he's stone cold right now, probably.
Peeling out of the courthouse in his, convertible Camaro or something.
That'd be awesome. That'd
Not
be
even
so
a current
great.
Camaro.
No, that'd be awesome if he did.
Yeah.
He just goes up to, like, Goodell and just, 2 middle fingers in the face and then just starts calling for beers. And somebody in the crowd will start winging them to him. I don't know. Somebody's got to have them. Yeah. I kind of, like, part of me wants to see Brady do a news conference where or a press conference that's what he basically does. He's just, kind of like, face,
Yes. Is there anything you'd like to say, Mr. Brady, about the lifting of the suspension?
Suck my balls. They're fully inflated.
Shit.
I just love to see him shoot a wrestling promo off of this because just... I really didn't care either way. Like I did agree with what you were saying though. Like I do feel that the NFL overreacted on this with no proof.
Right.
If they had proof, then well, that's a whole different story. I mean,
exactly.
Because really, to me, if they had proof, then you've got to make sure you see how far up the chain it goes. Because if it goes far enough up, I mean, maybe you got to look at vacating a Super Bowl kind of a thing, But
right.
If Brady was the only one who knew, him and the guy who actually did it, I don't know that you can take away a championship from a team because of that,
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
Did you also do you see that the NFL's not too impressed by that Will Smith movie coming out around Christmas, the concussion movie?
That doesn't surprise me because they've not really agreed with a lot of the Chris Nowinski Institute, or I forgot what institute he works for. Do you know who Chris Nowinski is?
The name is damn familiar.
He was a guy who went to, I can't remember, it was Harvard or he went to some Ivy League school, but anyways, he wrestled in WWE. And he got a concussion, a bad concussion in WWE, and was, no longer able to wrestle because he couldn't get cleared. Well, then he went back and started working with a concussion doctor because he got concussions from sports in college as well.
Right.
Football, I believe. And so they started studying brains and stuff. They're the ones who, him and this doctor were the ones who started doing the studies on, how like the athletes have had their brains sent to someone for analyzing for, I can't think what it's called, but it's basically from these athletes who've killed themselves because of depression.
Yeah.
Based on, because of concussions, like Junior Seau and, stuff like that. And they're the group that does that. As they've talked about it and released stuff about it, because I think this movie may have something to do with them, and the NFL has distanced themselves as far as they can from this group. Like when they started doing concussion testing and blah, 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 they didn't even consult these guys.
Right.
Because I think they knew what was going to happen. Like these guys are going to go, yeah, you have 300-pound men throwing themselves at each other's heads.
Yeah, meat missiles.
Yeah, it's bad news, So, yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. I did see a great tweet about it that was like the NFL, there was a guy, I can't remember who it is now, but he's like, the NFL doesn't want me to see Concussion because of, or Will Smith's new movie Concussion because of something. It's like, I wish they would have been this adamant about his previous 3 movies or something.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a fair point, too.
Yeah. So what do you think of the whole, like them not wanting anything to do with this movie type thing?
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I mean, if the concussion stuff happened, oh my God, the cat almost just ripped the earbuds out of my ears.
Nice.
Savage. If, eventually what are you going to do? Turn into like flag football or two-hand touch with the way the concussions are going? I mean,
it's Yeah.
I don't know how you can change anything, though, because that's just kind of football now.
Yeah, it's got to start at the kid level. You've got to be teaching kids you don't use your helmet at all. Like, you don't use your head as a weapon of any kind, and kids are still going to do it. But, at least if you try to teach them, the proper technique was, hit with the shoulder pad and turn your head to the side so that you don't hit your head directly on, which can cause concussions, paralysis, neck issues, But, yeah.
I mean, there's, potential for concussion in
for sure.
Any sport, really.
I mean, on a it's not a head-related thing, but it's like, Dr. James Andrews is, right?
Yeah.
Like the most dreaded 3 words in sports. Dr. James, because usually when you say those words, it means someone has to have pretty significant surgery done to, their joints somehow. But he's been working with like Little League Baseball because these little kids are blowing out their arms.
Right.
Because they're throwing too many innings or their form isn't appropriate, so you're wrecking your arm.
Are we going to talk about Rookie of the Year again?
Maybe. No. But, I think you run into the same thing with the football is that it's like there's knowledge out there, but the problem is that the people who are coaching are all volunteer level people. They don't have to go through any sort of an academy to coach football.
Right.
They don't have to go learn proper technique in order to coach. They can just go coach.
Yeah.
And that's probably dangerous. You know, it probably should be something you have to go through, get qualifications for, and then be able to do. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You know, same with the baseball coaches, because, you know, you just see kids throw as hard as they can because that's what kids do. They don't realize that in sports it's not about how hard physically you throw. It's more about the mechanics, because the mechanics allow you to throw harder without working harder, you know.
Yes.
So, but you don't understand that when you're 10 trying to wing a fastball as hard as you can, you know. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to be able to do to really stop this, though. It's, you know, the WWE has tried to make a lot of strides, but even them, I mean, they had a guy, you know, like Bret Hart got kicked in the head by Goldberg in one of their matches and got a concussion that shelved him for the better part of a year.
Right.
Just a normal, and you know, in wrestling, they throw like super kicks and all that kind of stuff. Goldberg was always known for being sloppy anyway, but he threw a sloppy kick, and that's what happened. You know, an accident happened, and there you go. It's, you know, it took a year off of Bret Hart's life, and who knows otherwise, you know, the effects. So it you know, but like they don't allow chair shots to the head anymore, you know.
Boo. Just saying.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's weird now. You know, you see a guy go get a chair and they immediately go to a guy's back, and you're like, listen, if I'm hitting a guy with a chair, I'm not aiming for his back.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going right for the head, you know.
It's head or groin.
Maybe the knees. You hit him good in the back of the knees. Do the old hockey check, you know.
That's true.
'Cause there's no padding back there, you know.
Perfect.
A little chop at the back of the knee. And play a little dirty.
Jeez. No head chair shots, whatever.
Yeah. But even that, they've you know, they've gotten rid of, like, you don't really see anybody do pile drivers in wrestling anymore, or kind of any of that stuff where you can, you know, get your head driven directly into the mat.
You mean Nikolai Voltov's finishing move?
Yeah. Yeah. Or Jerry the King Lawler's finisher too.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Remember? Yeah, because remember it was banned in various states, and it wasn't. But whatever.
It was like, really? Was it?
No. But even like the guy who's the champion right now, Seth Rollins, he did a move called the curb stomp, which was, you know, he'd hit a guy with something, and then he'd come up, and, you know, obviously the guy raises up so it looks a little more effective. He puts his foot on their head, and he doesn't actually physically stomp their head, but, you know, they go through the motion looking like he stomped their face into the mat. And WWE, like, silently, even though it became a big deal, but they kind of silently made him switch his finisher.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I think they were afraid of people mimicking it.
Oh, jeez.
Like kids mimicking picture a kid mimicking a curb stomp, though. I mean, that's going to be bad news wherever they do it.
I guess that's true, but I mean, if a kid's actually doing it,
I know, right?
There's bigger problems.
And honestly, of the things a kid could do as far as harmful stuff, that's probably not as harmful as if that kid tries to hit someone with a DDT or a super kick, or, you know,
or a chair to the back.
Or a chair to the back, yeah. Or, you know, hitting his friend with a ladder. I don't know. There's probably more dangerous things they could be doing, but
yeah, I would think so.
But I do understand them trying to make some changes there so that it's safer for the guys involved also, you know.
Right.
So, because, you know, they don't want guys getting concussions, and because, I mean, mainly because they just don't want them off of TV, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, it takes them out of the grinder that is the WWE.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, and it happens. You know, guys get hurt, obviously, from time to time. I mean, you know, it was just was it a month ago? John Cena was wrestling Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins went to do, like, a knee to Cena's face, and, you know, in wrestling, you tend to hit the side where you hit more cheekbone kind of a thing or whatever. He hit him flush and, I mean, destroyed Cena's nose.
Right.
So, you know, Cena had to have surgery on his nose because he had the old question mark. I mean, his nose was, like, almost under his right eye, you know.
The old nose laying on the cheek maneuver. Yeah. I saw that once in a mosh pit.
Right.
It's fantastic.
You know, because, like, I'm watching it, and, you know, the commentator's like, I think Cena's nose is broken. And I'm like, I've seen enough UFC to know his nose is broken.
Yeah. What do you mean think?
Well, you couldn't.
It looks like a gummy worm under his skin.
It did, too. It was pretty awful, you know. But, you know, it happens. He wasn't off TV for very long. It was a few weeks, but it was still... Or not, he was on TV, but he couldn't wrestle because he can't get cleared for it. But
right.
You know, that kind of stuff happens, but you don't want guys getting concussions to where they end up their career gets shortened or they end up having to miss 6 months. Like Dolph Ziggler, I think at one point had to miss like 6 months or so because of a concussion he got. That's what you don't want because
I mean that shit's let's look at Neil with his light bright brain.
I
Basically the same thing we're talking about here.
Less chair shots, Neil. Less chair shots.
Less chair shots. Exactly. Aim for the take it to the back, not to the face.
Right. Well,
I mean chair shots.
Do you though?
Unless you're auditioning for Cunts and Curls.
Right.
then we can talk.
Yeah, well, if you're auditioning for that, it's, you got to put it all out there.
It's true.
There's no holding back.
No, exactly.
In either place.
Either way.
Yeah, put it all out there, man. You're in the brothel, and they're like, come on, one more. You got like a personal trainer in there with you. Just screaming at you. Come on!
Like you're walking up the hallway, doors open. Yo, can you give me a spot?
Yeah. You walk out of the brothel, they hand you a jug of water, Oh, man. I'm liking this idea more and more.
Right? Come on.
All right, so enough about concussions. But we're still in wrestling talk here. So
all right.
There was a lot that's happened in wrestling related. Like, do you see there was a guy who got shot outside the WWE Performance Center?
No.
Yeah, he apparently is obsessed with Lita, who you probably remember from, like, 90s wrestling.
Yeah, I suddenly became re-obsessed.
Right. And, he was obsessed with her and thought she was going to be there or something, and police felt threatened by the guy and ended up shooting this guy outside.
Like, shoot him dead, shoot him?
You know what, I don't remember, and I'm not going to pull it up, but he got shot.
Was he coming in with a super kick and they just lit him up?
Yeah, probably. He was going for a headshot with the chair.
Yeah.
But then there was, I can't remember what it was. There was like a TNA guy that got arrested for, I can't remember what it was for. It was like spousal abuse or something like that. And
he was just practicing.
Yeah, right? Jeez. This girl who's Seth Rollins' girlfriend, actually, she was a developmental talent for WWE. She just got let go because she was posting like swastika stuff on her Instagram and then defending it. Yeah.
Well, now, defending it like the classic Buddhist symbol of peace?
Kind of. But the problem is that WWE can't tolerate any of it,
Right.
So, yeah. So she was right out. And then the biggest news of the week, which was Jimmy Superfly Snuka got indicted for the murder of his girlfriend from like 32 years ago. I
remember he was on Opie and Anthony years ago, and they asked him about that.
Yep.
And I remember it got really weird.
Yeah, and it's always been really weird.
Yeah.
And I forgot what it is. They've got something now like that they didn't have before, some sort of proof or something that leads that way. And I think they said he could serve 20 to 30 years in jail. I don't know. He was just diagnosed not that long ago with stomach cancer, so I don't even know I don't know what his prognosis is anyway, but it's, the family of the victim won a lawsuit, a wrongful death suit against him, which, is easier to prove than murder,
Right.
And, he basically was like, look, I'm broke, so they pretty much got nothing out of it. But he's got he was signed by WWE for a Legends contract, where he does signings and appearances and all that. And WWE acted quickly, not as quickly as they did with Hulk Hogan, but quickly, to remove...
Erased him?
Yeah, pretty much.
You have been erased.
Yeah, I don't think they erased him as much as Hogan, and the only reason I can think of is he hasn't been convicted.
Right.
At this point, he's just indicted on it. Now if he's convicted, they'll probably scrub him completely clean. But they've suspended his contract, until, they find out what's going on.
Where am I going to buy my official Superfly Snuka Jam Jams?
Yeah, good question now, because you're not getting them through WWE.com, that's for sure.
Jeez. By Jam Jams, I just want some leopard print undies.
Right. Well, I mean, the ones he'll be wearing soon enough might be, black and white striped ones. So,
yeah, it's true.
I mean,
he's used to working in the cage. We're good.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. So yeah, there's been like a bunch of just zaniness around like the pro wrestling world in the last like week. You know,
that's pretty wild.
But not in ring stuff. You know, this is all like outside of real life weird shit. And then, did you see Hogan went on like a couple of shows and basically asking for forgiveness and whatnot? And
oh, that doesn't surprise me. I mean,
yeah, WWE issued a statement saying basically they're like, yeah, we're still not going to have anything to do with him at this time. Which
their statement was just, it's just Vince McMahon just pissing on a Hulkamania shirt.
Right. But their language in it, though, was less harsh than last time. So, a lot of people are like, oh, I wonder if, just like kind of like I said originally, it's like, I think they'll do business again. It's just going to be down the road a ways.
Right.
So, yeah, that was a bunch of silliness right there. That's
some weird, wild stuff.
Yeah. It's an interesting industry, like, eesh, like. It was funny. I was listening to the Doing the Job podcast, which is on the Pod Gods Network, which we're also parts of, and
yes,
they were talking about the I can't think of her name, Seth Rollins' girlfriend getting let go, and they were like, you got to pick your hills, and they're like, when you pick one that the rest of the world sees as bad, maybe you let go of that one,
Yeah, or just keep it to yourself. Don't
Yeah.
put it on social media, maybe.
Right. And her thing was, well, I can post whatever I want to post. It's like, you can, but as an employer, they have the right to draw the line as to what they'll tolerate.
Yeah, especially in the business they're in of media.
Right, and right now they have to be careful because they're a publicly traded company. If they were a private company, they could just absorb it and be like, who cares? We'll be fine. But when you're a publicly traded company, you have to be more aware of all this. Plus, they've been trying to promote themselves more as a family thing you can go to, and and when they do that, you can't really have somebody that's like a Nazi sympathizer, like type of thing on your roster. It's
what do you mean?
Yeah, it's oddly enough still frowned upon. You'd think time heals all wounds, but
I know, right?
Yeah, not so much. Yeah, go figure. Genocide's one of those things that takes a little longer to heal, I guess. Ugh.
Tell you what.
Why would you risk your career on that?
It seems silly, doesn't it?
Right? Because other wrestling companies might be like, because they're not going to necessarily want that on their roster either, because they can, like WWE could probably absorb this if they wanted to. You know what I mean? But these other companies would be a little harder for them to absorb it because they're smaller. They can't afford a hit.
Now, was his girlfriend a female wrestler?
Yes. Yeah, she's in, like, the minor leagues, basically. Like, she wasn't even... I think they were just about to bring her onto NXT, which is right now... It's a lot of people consider it the minor leagues to WWE because that's kind of where they pull some of their talent. But Triple H, when he came up with the concept of NXT, wanted it to be, like, a separate brand.
Right.
Like, not a rival, but just a separate brand of show kind of a thing. But right now
it's... WEC for... MMA.
Yeah, exactly.
I know we're just throwing letters out now.
Like QBA,
yeah.
Yeah.
KBS?
Right. Or, AAA instead of, or the IHL. Oh, wait, that doesn't exist.
I got her. Some low-level wrestling promoter needs to pick her up, right?
Yeah.
And they could take the story and run.
I don't like this at all.
And she could be Eva Braun. Like,
BRAWN. I get you.
Yep.
Oh, dude. That is terrible. And brilliant. Because that feels like something Vince McMahon would have done in the 80s.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we can use this.
Or maybe the 90s even, with the Attitude Era where they were trying anything.
Everything.
Yeah. I mean, oh, God. That's so bad. Oh, man. It's so awkward, too. You got two people who are dating. Seth Rollins is the WWE champion.
Yeah.
Not just some guy who works for WWE. He is the face of the company. Well,
he's
John
not like
Cena
the gaffer or something.
Yeah, but he's not even like a low talent. I mean, he's the WWE and United States champion right now.
Right.
And then his girlfriend's getting let go. It's like, man, awkward, Like is she welcome to come with him to an event now? I mean, or are they going to go, maybe leave her at home or something?
Seth, you got to leave that crazy bitch home.
He looks at Triple H and goes, "You first," because see, he's married to Stephanie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'd be Anyway, good luck with that. Yeah.
I still have a hard time believing that's actually a thing.
Yeah, right.
You know,
how great of a career has he had? You know.
Yeah, no shit.
All time in-ring wrestler, and now he's the COO of the company.
Yeah.
And NXT was his brainchild. Like, he pitched the whole idea of basically having that concept and having it be a weekly show and all this stuff to Vince. And Vince was kind of like, and then they kind of talked him into it. And it's been a great idea because it's tremendous wrestling. Like, a lot of the talent has been very good there. And then they're able to bring them up to WWE.
Yeah, farm them up and all that.
Yeah. Although it was cool with recently, they brought somebody up who wasn't. He was in NXT, but he wasn't on the TV part of it. And he's this monster of a guy who's like a former power lifter. And they have like the Bray or the Wyatt family of these like creepy backwoodsy kind of guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they brought this guy up. His name's Braun Strowman or something like that. But they'd never really. They showed him on NXT, I guess, briefly when he first got brought in. But they've kept him off TV so they could bring him onto WWE, and nobody would know who he was. Which they don't do that anymore. They used to do that back in the 80s. Remember, you'd see a guy and you'd be like, who the hell's that guy? You know?
Right.
Now you don't see it because there's, Ring of Honor and TNA and, they pull guys from TV stops.
You guys see that Shockmaster? That was amazing.
What's funny is he kind of looks like him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh,
luckily, he doesn't wear,
the Stormtrooper helmet?
Yeah.
Fresh with the bedazzlings.
Right, and he doesn't crash through walls.
He should.
He should, though. That'd be awesome. They should bring the Shockmaster back.
I agree.
Or have it be the Shockmaster's son, and he's just going on a reign of terror to get revenge for his dad being ridiculed.
Son of Shockmaster.
I'm pitching 80s gimmicks now. 90s, because Shockmaster was in the 90s, I think. Anyway, enough of that. I'm sure no one wants to hear any more pro wrestling. So
yeah, you're probably right.
Screw those people. No. If only we had our Macho Man drop right now.
Oh, yeah.
Sad pain.
That's all I got.
All right, so what else you got? Anything else?
I've been eating a shitload of spinach lately for some reason. It's like my new jam.
Trying to be Popeye or what?
I don't know. I like would chop it up and throw it in our breakfast burritos,
which
and I eat
makes
it
sense.
with my lunch, and I eat it with all my vegetables. It's just been, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I don't know. You're a strange man.
Causes some awful things to happen sometimes.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
It's a dark green. Of course it causes awful things.
But man, I don't know what it is. I'm just like feasting on it.
It's good though. Like I love spinach. Like I love it in salads. I'll eat it on sandwiches, and I'll eat it. I don't like it like the way most people probably remember it is out of a can from when they were a kid,
right?
Which is bleh. But when you wilt it down yourself with I don't know.
Did I just take fistfuls and just shove it in my face raw?
That's a little weird. Not gonna lie.
I'm just saying, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Well, I guess it's better than at least it's not fistfuls of like caramels or something.
That's true.
I mean, if you're gonna put fistfuls of things in your face, I mean that's probably a decent.
Might as well
thing.
be a green.
Yeah. Even though you'll be taking fistfuls out of your ass later.
Yeah, this is true.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it's a problem.
I feel like we're having the kale shake conversation again.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, now that you mentioned it, you are correct, sir.
People listening are like, kale shake, what's going on with that? Like, bad things. That's all you need to know. Bad things.
It's like a freight train for your colon.
Yeah. A freight train. Oof. All right. So let's talk about anything else.
All right, good call. You got more internet stuff? Because like I said, I don't really have. I'm all out of sorts without my laptop right now.
Nuts. I can't really send you the picture as easily as I used to be able to.
Not really.
Have you seen there's a promo pic of Diggle in his suited up for Arrow season 4?
I have not seen this.
He kind of looks like he's wearing a Magneto helmet.
That seems weird.
Yeah, and then he's got his leather jacket on. It's like he can't decide if he wants to be Ghost Rider or if he wants to be Magneto.
What is he going to be? Is it still just going to be Diggle with a helmet or something?
Well, keep it. Remember, have you seen the end of season 3?
I believe so.
Okay,
I think so.
Spoilers, in case someone hasn't.
I'm pretty sure I did.
You know how Oliver and Felicity are off, taping their rom-com out on the coast or whatever.
Yes.
And basically, Diggle's going to be one of the ones. It looks like while they're off doing their thing, he'll be helping protect the city and whatnot. So, I forgot who it is in season 3. Somebody's like, if you're going to be out there doing that, you probably should be wearing some armor or something. So I think that's what they're doing, is they're just giving him some protection.
But he's still just going to be Diggle.
As far as I know.
He really needs a code name.
Or a music video where he's getting Diggle with it.
Yes.
Or
that's even better.
LMFAO, and it's like, Diggle, 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 Diggle.
Sounds too much like Diddle.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. We got to be sensitive.
Exactly.
Oh, funny. I just scrolled down to the comments because I'm like, somebody's got to have made the same comment. There you go. Second comment says, Holy Magnet Batman, which I think that's supposed to be, I don't know. It says, so Magneto will be in the Arrowverse. So, yeah, I kind of was thinking the same thing.
The old Magneto helmet. Well, at least psychics can't get through his brain and stuff.
All right.
Right?
Makes me laugh, though, because one of the somebody calls him Dignito.
That's perfect. See, he has a code word now.
One of the bottom ones, this pic can't be official, can it? It's photoshopped all to hell. I would like to invite that person to go look at if you can still find a video store, and look at every cover box. Because most of them, especially the bigger stars, they don't take the promo pics that are the front of these boxes. They have a stand-in do it, and they Photoshop from the neck up.
Yeah.
All the time. Or if you look at the way the arms are bent on a lot of them, the proportions are horrible. Because they're doing it, because it's cheaper and easier than having the stars do the stand-in bullshit,
Which is shitty, but that's what they do.
Yeah. So, and honestly, it doesn't... I don't think it does. I think it's just the way the helmet is and stuff that it looks weird on him. But anyway, enough of that. No more Dignito. Which
could be Diggity's new nickname.
Oh, it could be. It could be. Yeah.
Dignito.
Yeah.
Haven't heard from that guy in a while.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just saw a thing pop up on my thing here. There's going to be a beta for the Star Wars Battlefront in October. I was just looking to see how I can become part of that, because I want to be part of that if I can. But
yeah, that sounds. That's one reason I seriously consider. Besides, Jeannie wants to get the new Rock Band when it comes out, but
right.
Battlefront is a serious reason for me to upgrade. Because Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah, buddy.
Because
somehow I'll sell a kidney. No one's going to buy a kidney of mine. I'll have to sell someone else's kidney or something. I don't know.
Perfect.
Yeah. Oh, man. Trying to see what else I got here. I think I had some. I don't feel like talking about that. What else do I have here? Yeah, I really don't have a whole lot more. I guess we could get into the Q the W and such.
Well, we got
Whoa. When I
whoa.
say Q the W, you're supposed to make your Q the W nothing.
You mean the Q the W?
Right. I needed the sound drop.
Naturally.
Wait.
Well, we had a couple of them last week. One was provide us with Q to W's.
Yeah.
The other one was we need to name our creepy, savage, pedophile uncle.
Uncle Molesto, as we called him last week.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to, if my laptop works, I think we're going to put a poll up on Face page and probably just our website, because direct traffic there, right?
Right.
Why have multiple polls? That seems dumb.
I agree.
Yeah. To put up, we got several names. We got Lester, Mo, Uncle Touchy, Torben, Sean, spelled S-E-A-N.
Like Sean Bean?
Yes. And grown men named Billy or Chuck. Which is kind of funny.
I agree.
So, yeah, I think we're going to put a poll up, let people vote, and then we can start,
I also think that Molesto probably should be one of the names, because
I do agree.
We already put it out there. So.
Yeah, I agree. And then we can see how people if people actually pay attention to our polls.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I know. I see what you did there.
But then the other QW, the provide us with QWs, provided, believe it or not.
Yep.
And we're going to do one this week from our pal FRJ from the Ridiculous Ramblings podcast.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Thanks, Jared. Appreciate it, buddy. He asked, what is your favorite Wes Craven movie? Because if anyone's not aware, Wes Craven bit the big one this week, and I guess Jesus needed a horror movie director, or whatever people say.
And the other one I wanted to mention, I actually forgot, I was going to talk about this a little bit, was Oliver Sacks, which you listen to Radiolab, right?
Yes.
So you've heard him on Radiolab?
Yeah.
He's amazing on that show. So if you don't know who he is, the first thing that pops into my head that you may know is if you're like Tony and I's age or so, the movie Awakenings with De Niro and Robin Williams, that's based off a book he wrote. And anywho, he's a neurologist, and he's just got a really interesting way of looking at the brain and life. So if you don't already listen to the Radiolab podcast, you should, because it's a really good listen most of the time. There's some that are a little weird, but
generally it's pretty damn good.
There's some really interesting stuff on that show.
Yeah.
But go back and listen to any of them with Oliver Sacks on it, because he was a guy that the guys who run the show, they're friends with him, or were friends with him.
Well, I even think this week's podcast is like remembering Oliver Sacks.
Yeah, I think it's just from that last time they had him on for like 20 minutes or whatever. But, go listen to that, because it was a really interesting, like I said, there's the way he saw life is a really different look than a lot of people have. It just kind of a fascinating guy. So there's that.
Absolutely.
Now, back to the QW.
So, what's your favorite Wes Craven movie, Brian?
Like we pulled up, because we both wanted to double check that, we didn't forget or miss anything.
Yes.
So we both pulled it up on the IMDb. I'm sorry, the IMDb. And,
IMDb.
And, I was looking through, like, he's done 29 movies as a director. And, which, at first I was like, wow, it seems like there should be more. But, time-wise, it makes sense and everything. It's just, I'm used to people being able to, like, crank out movies, like, at ungodly rates now, versus taking time and doing them right.
Yes, exactly.
And, I think the one that's going to always stand out to me, and I told you, like, if you ask me now, like, Scream is one that really ranks up there, because I think Scream did such a great job of kind of lampooning the horror industry, but it was also, I think,
kind of brought it back a little,
I think
too.
It was a really good horror movie, in this vein. It's not like a gore fest or a whatever type of movie, but the one that's always going to stand out to me is going to be A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Right.
The first time I remember as a little kid seeing Freddy, and the idea of, coming to people in their dreams and different stuff, it just terrified me. And I enjoyed the other ones, but I wasn't as terrified of them as I was when I saw the first one. Because I was, in 80... I don't think I saw it, like, I didn't see it in a theater. I saw it on TV. So it was, It was even edited, but it was still, it was probably, late 80s when I saw it, something in that range. So it was probably about, 8 or 10 when I first saw it. And it just terrified me for a while. Like, I didn't want to go to sleep because I was afraid Freddy would get me, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
So, that's the one that's always going to stand out in my head. But I really, like I said, I really dug what he did with a lot of his movies, honestly. There's so many really strong ones. But that one and Scream are the two that really stand out to me, because I think Scream was... without Scream, I'm not sure that a lot of these movies that are being made now would have gotten their chance.
Yeah, yes.
Because I kind of feel like horror movies were kind of sliding off, Yeah,
they were getting pretty stagnant.
Yeah.
And then that kind of, like, refreshed the whole thing.
And it was funny, too. Like, there was good kind of comedy in that, lampooning of the industry a bit. So. Yeah.
I also picked Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, it was very tough to pick that over Vampire in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Strong movie. Eddie Murphy's performance of that vampire mullet. I mean, come on. That was strong.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to lie. I've seen it a few times. So.
But, yeah, I had to do Nightmare on Elm Street as well for basically the exact same reasons you said, Brian.
Yeah.
I mean, plus that was, look at the franchise that ignited.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
You know? I mean, how many of those were, what, 18 of them or something dumb?
I don't know. Like, he was involved with, let's see, I've still got it pulled up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The new Nightmare.
Right. Well, he was also part of the Freddy Nightmares TV show.
Right.
But yeah, the final Nightmare. So that's 6. Freddy versus Jason. Oh no, it says characters. He didn't direct that. Okay, or whatever. But so yeah, he was involved with like the first 6-ish. So Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm looking at writers right now, not the director credit. My fault.
How dare you, sir?
Sorry. Yeah, he only did Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one. He wasn't involved in the rest of them, actually. New Nightmare, he was. And then, obviously, 3, 4 Screams,
Yeah.
Vampire in Brooklyn.
Much respect.
People Under the Stairs.
Nice.
It says here he did episodes of The Twilight Zone. The Hills Have Eyes, Swamp Thing. I mean, there's a ton of stuff on there. But, yeah. Just like I said, there's just nothing that'll stand out in my head like Freddy. I think Freddy was the first character of that ilk that I saw a movie of, because I think I saw Nightmare on Elm Street, and then I think I saw Halloween and Halloween 2 later. So I think
Electric Boogaloo.
Yes, naturally. The one where you actually see Mike Myers,
right?
Or Michael Myers. Mike Myers. Yeah, baby.
Stab.
Yeah. That might be just as horrifying. I don't know.
It certainly would be.
Yeah, and then I started watching all of those things, So it not only terrified me, but it also kind of brought me into that genre. And then I was like, ooh, I want to see a lot of this stuff. And then I was like, I'm terrified. I don't want to see any of this stuff.
Like, oh, I just splooshed and not in a good way.
Oh, backdoor splooshing. Gross.
Oh, jeez.
I've been eating my spinach.
Splooching with the finest.
Right. So there's our Q of the W, which is, so we ask you, what was your favorite Wes Craven movie?
And why?
And why, of course. Because as I said over on the BT 140 podcast, the good conversation, the why is where the good stuff is,
Yes.
The yes
exactly.
or no stuff's like, meh, but let's hear why.
Once you get into the meat of it.
Yeah, I agree.
Now we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
And we still, I know last week's QW was provide us with them, but we're always looking for new ones.
Right.
So if you think of something you want us to answer, send it our way.
Right. Yeah, send all your Q of the W questions to, you can put them on the Reddit threads somewhere. You can put them on, our Facebook. Send them to us on the Twitter, email them, however you want to. You can call the voicemail, if you want. 415-857-2589, and hit us with what you would like us to talk about for the Q and the W.
Send us a private message.
Yeah.
Maybe write that Q to W on some of them exposed cleavages.
Like multiples, like it's like eight women, and they just write part of the question on each of their cleavages.
Yes.
Okay. I'm liking this idea a lot. Make sure your questions are lengthy. That way you need more. And also, I didn't know he was born in Cleveland.
That explains his horror mentality.
Probably.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
It's like, I need to get to a dark place. He just watches a Browns game. I'm there.
We laugh, but there's some truth to it. All right, I got a Shut Up and Take My Money this week also. No, unfortunately, we don't have the sound drop.
Shut up and take my money.
Ah, it's perfect. It was like Fry was in the room with me.
Right.
They announced that, DC Comics announced that they're putting out a Gotham Central omnibus, which is 800 pages.
Oh, good googly moogly.
An amazing comic book from Brubaker and Rucka and I can't remember the other guy who's involved. but it's this like massive tome of, and it is, if you have not read this comic, you should check this comic. Maybe not the omnibus, but, you know, go grab some trades or whatever, because it's a really good read.
Damn, 800 pages. I'd like to see just the way that thing looks.
Right, and they're saying retail on it's $100. So, which, you know, for 800 pages of comic is not
it's reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, you know, buying things in omnibus form generally is not a cheap venture anyway. You know, they're usually rather large and expensive. So, but it'll be coming out next May. So you have time to start saving, you know, saving all your monies, you know, start raiding your friends' couches. And
yeah, for sure. And when that next May rolls around, make sure you order it through saltylanguage.com. Use that Amazon link, yo.
Yeah. So I thought that's pretty awesome. Because, you know, a lot of times on the shut up and take my money thing, it's like a lot of it ends up being stuff that I'd love to have, I just can't afford. You know, and this one hits that, because I would love to have that. But, man, you imagine just picking up that book? It's just like,
be doing deadlifts with it,
right?
getting all swole.
Can you imagine you fall asleep with it on your chest or something?
Oh,
you wake
God,
up, you can't get up. Yeah.
Like, oh, God, I'm not sure. He either fell asleep reading his book or he's accused of being a witch.
Right? You need a spotter.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I thought that was pretty damn awesome, though.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
For a shut up and take my money.
Yeah. And, you know what? I forgot to... Ooh, I'll have to send that to you. I just realized that we had a Q of the W topic sent in to us. I didn't.
Oh.
I had missed it, actually. We won't talk about it on the show, though.
Well, we did have other ones that we're adding to the Q to W files.
Right.
It's going to be our next podcast.
Yeah. It's like the whole thing. One last thing I want to mention. I figure we can throw the linkies up, well, maybe, on the website or tweet them out or whatever, which was... Annalise from the Dark Angels and Pretty Freaks podcast, or Depth Pod as you should be calling it.
That's what the kids are calling it.
I don't mean them. I just mean, you know, everyone else.
Us.
Yeah. She sent us, or tagged us in a thing about, it's from Founders about All Day.
All Day.
IPA. And
It's
about
actually pretty interesting.
Yeah, kind of how they arrived on it, and not really the making, well, kind of the making of it too, but it's a pretty quick read, you know, there's, you know, whatnot, but I thought we'll probably throw that in the show notes too, because we've talked about All Day various times on this show, so
it's true.
If you're interested, then there you go, and if you're not interested, then
I was just blown away when I read it that's All Day makes up over half their sales.
Yeah, right?
That's crazy.
I love the one guy when he's like, yeah, 90% of the liquid I drink is All Day IPA.
Yeah.
I was like, that's probably not healthy. You probably should have some more water in there, but who am I? I'm no doctor.
And I know Founders I think it's distributed pretty widely across the country now. So, I mean, if you like a kind of a nice light IPA that won't knock you on your ass immediately, pick up some All Day, because it is delicious.
I found it really interesting that it replaced a beer that they brewed for the Budweiser crowd, because, you know, most breweries have their Budweiser or Bud Light kind of a thing. And I was like, the thing is, if I really liked Budweiser, I'm not liking All Day, because... Well,
do you remember when we were at Founders and the bartender's like, I don't want to give you Solid Gold because it's Bud Light?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's why when they said that and they were like, you know, this replaced Solid, or what, I was like, that makes sense. It's like, because seriously, if they had All Day while we were up there, I probably would have drank more of that.
Yeah.
Because I did try the Solid Gold, and I was like, nope. You know, because
nope.
It was right out. Because I don't want that kind of beer anymore. But, you know, it is interesting. But it's like, if you're afraid of IPAs, it's a great IPA to try, though.
Yeah, because it's not a punch-you-in-the-face IPA.
It's really not a strong IPA. And it's, what is it, 4.5%?
Something like that.
Yeah, so it's not even strong that way. That's why it's called All Day. You can drink it all day.
It's kind of become my go-to beer.
Yeah.
You know?
And I finally got to try it over at your house this past Saturday. So
yeah, I'm a big fan. I love that stuff.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, we usually do. We hung out and played various games. We played a good amount of games, actually.
Yeah, we played a decent amount of games.
The last one, I have no idea what was going on.
We were all too. It was too late.
Yeah.
We were all feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
Staccato. It's a great game, but
I just remember you guys kept trying to tell me the rules and stuff, and I'm like, this is probably a great game, but I am retaining none
it
of
is a great game, but it was too late in the evening to play Staccato.
Yeah. It seems like one we probably should have started off with.
Probably.
Although I did enjoy I can't remember the name of that game, the blah, 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 Mountain Doom.
Oh, the Epic Spell Wars, Wizard Duels, atop Mount Skullfire or whatever.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I said Mount Doom, whatever.
That is an entertaining game.
That was fun, yeah.
Yeah,
so,
just because it's so ridiculous.
Right, and we, cracked open Lunch Money, which we haven't played in forever. Or at least I haven't. I don't know if you guys have.
I haven't played in a while either.
To where I had to be reminded of rules. I remember we used to play it all the time at the shop,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But, yeah. Because, man, that game, we played that back at Collector's World, didn't we?
Yeah, that's where I bought that game, was at Collector's World.
Yeah, that's right. I couldn't remember if you bought it there or if it was when we were at Ancon.
Oh, no, that was a Collector's World thing.
Okay. So, yeah, that
game's ancient.
Yep. That's what, 20 years ago?
Yeah, actually, I'd be curious to see a picture of the little girl, like what she looks like now.
Yeah, because she's probably near 30 at this point.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because she was, whatever she was at the time, and then 20 years almost.
Girl, send me them digits.
No, Tony. She was the one standing,
I got a spinning breakfast for you.
If you don't know what game we're talking about, you should look it up. It's made by, was it Mayfair Games? Or no, Atlas Games.
Atlas Games. Mayfair makes other shit.
Yeah, I know. That's why as soon as I said it, I was like, that's not right. Atlas Games.
Yeah.
They put out a sequel, or another part of it called Beer Money, which you can play on its own or mix them in. And that game was just a lot of fun. Like, it seems like a real, no-brainer game, but you can play it with a lot of strategy as well.
It's deeper than people think.
Yeah. You can play it with no real strategy. You can just willy-nilly the game, but generally those people are the first ones out. So
exactly. They're the ones that get stomped into the dirt.
Mm-hmm. Good times, though.
It is a fun game, though.
Yep. So, yeah. Looking at my list here, that's all I got, sir.
I'm tapped out myself, my friend.
Okay, well, I guess at this point, this is where I remind you to go to saltylanguage.com, because I don't know if you've been there or not, but you should. Although maybe not this week. Maybe take a week off and then go next week.
Yeah, with any luck, I'm going to wake up, because I'm just going to let the shit sit all night.
Smart.
And I'll try to power it up in the morning and see what happens.
Right. If not, pour some coffee on it. Maybe it just needs its coffee.
Maybe you're right.
Yeah. Yeah, go to saltylanguage.com, though, because you can still look at, past episodes of ours, because all the past episodes are on there, whereas there's only 50 on iTunes, even though I've changed the thing multiple times to where it's supposed to allow for all of our episodes to be up there.
Well, that's weird.
I don't know why. I may have to I should probably email, I don't know if I email iTunes or Libsyn about that, but anyway, enough of that. So you can get that. Go check out our interviews. Again, the newest one if you haven't listened, is Ryan Brown. You've heard us talk about God Hates Astronauts, the comic book, on here. He's got another Kickstarter going for another thing of his called Blast Furnace, which was a good read. Again, it's not going to be for everybody. You got to like a reverent, just dark, weird stuff.
my favorite thing about Blast Furnace is it's not planned, and it's a page a day.
Yeah, that was awesome.
He does a page a day with no pre-planning. He just does it.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's really cool. And he told us that, some of the pages were done drunk. And, so...
Like 11:30 when he's like, oh, shit.
Right. And I will go ahead and say this. As much as I loved our talk with Evan Dorkin, this one's only about an hour. So, it's a much shorter listen.
Yeah. It's your normal tasty enthusiast bite you get.
Right. So hopefully you enjoy that. You can, if you would like to become a Patreon supporter of ours, which, again, we need to do some talking about getting some things worked out for that. But you can, subscribe to that, donate a little bit to us each month if you'd like. If you can't, we get it. We're all poor bastards.
You'll have that.
Yeah. So, let's see. Don't forget, again, to send in your Q of the W's to us and or respond, because
please.
We like all the interaction we've been getting. You can also find, our links to our social medias and everything on there. You can find at the bottom of the page are all the networks that we're part of that you should be checking out, like Tangent Bound, Musings of a Geek, Podgods Network, Danger Entertainment, which, sorry, we don't have a drop this week.
Yeah, God damn it.
Sorry, Michael. And
so upset at myself.
Right? And the Wicked Radio Network.
Wicked!
So, yeah, go check out other shows on there. There's some, all sorts of good programs. Especially
Wicked.
Especially if you're into nerd stuff, there's a lot more of that than a lot of other things. But there's some really strong other podcasts in there. Speaking of other podcasts, I'm on another podcast called The Crazy Life. So however you found Salty Language, through iTunes or whatever your downloading podcast downloader is, just put in The Crazy Life and you should be able to find us. We talk about mental health or kind of things that are affecting us in our lives. It's obviously more serious than this one, but...
What do you mean, Brian?
Yeah, whatever. So. And, yeah, I think that's most of the plugs, right? Am I forgetting anything?
It sounded about right to me. Well, I guess us.
Oh, right, yeah. You can find the show on Twitter at salty_language. You can find me at Stunami.
I am at Monotony.
Mm-hmm. And, if you want to see the picture of the Tinder profile I was referring to, you can follow me over on the Instagrams at Stunami.
Hashtag them titties.
I don't think I hashtagged them titties.
Oh, well. That's
sorry, I'll go edit the post now.
Yes, please.
I'm not going to.
I know.
Yeah, I guess that's it, right?
I think so, man.
Seems like it. Okay. So with that, have beer, you'll be fine.
Stay salty.
And go piss rocks.
This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net's Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Wicked Radio Network.
You are now leading the world of Musings of a Geek Podcast Network. Stay geeky, my friends.
Susan, open the door.
Oh my God, what happens now? He's gonna break down the door, and she's gonna hide.
I'm breaking down the door. Don't you hide.
Oh God, what now? He's gonna find her hiding in the bathroom.
I know you're in the bathroom. I just want to talk, honey.
He's lying. He has a knife behind his back.
Oh, yeah? Why do you have a knife behind your back?
How did you know?
That loud nod in the audience said so.
Well, it's not what you think.
He's gonna tell her it's to cut the cable because she wants to be on the Tangent Bound live show. November 15th, 6 p.m. It's gonna be awesome.
You'll want to have your own free podcast on the network.
Now they'll make up and do the nasty.
Oh, honey, just make up and do the nasty.
Wow. What happens now? Now we're getting out of the theater, and everybody else will beat the shit out of us in the parking lot.
TangentBoundNetwork.com